Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about starting a YouTube channel after 40 years of age and the pros and cons of that. All right, so let's just start out by talking about the pros. When you're 40 and over, usually you have professional work experience of some sort, working in corporate or having your own business. And the benefit of that is you have experience to share about, which is very helpful with having a YouTube channel. So you can draw from your wealth of experience and share that and create many presentations from that. And you do have access to, a lot of research, a lot of information out there that will enhance what you've already learned. Okay, and so the other benefit, number two, second benefit I see is, you are more authentic. The older you get, the more we should be, right? Have more stories to share, not as guarded, you know. So that is definitely a benefit. You can be yourself, and that is different than what I had when I was with corporate. You do have to be careful about what you share. Some don't even let you share about religion, but with your own channel, you are able to talk about your faith. You're able to encourage people with it. You're able to share the abundance of knowledge that you have from any industry, So no non-competes, none of that, which we shouldn't have those anyway nowadays. And then the other thing, number three, I would say that, usually after 40, you are looking to provide quality. So, you're taking less risk. You want to give accurate information, and so you do look for that. You look to give notations where they're needed, credit where it's due, and the beauty of YouTube is you get to go at your own pace. It's essentially your own business, so really you set your own schedule, and you set your own standard of quality, and the only competition you really have is yourself, and doing better and better. And your audience will come eventually. So, just keep improving on what you have and what you are put here to offer. Number four, I would say transferable skills, which is similar to number one, except I think that your expertise can give people insight to technology. If you're an expert with technology, communications. If you've done many presentations, speeches, public speaking, you're able to share what has worked for you. And any other skills that may be out there. It could be even, putting together letters. I did a lot of offer letters, pros and cons, or not pros and cons, but, what to do, what not to do, even, building relationships and that. So, and I've seen a lot of these topics out here on YouTube as well as I've been sharing things that I've learned over the years. All right, and so YouTube is great. It's definitely a place where you can learn and grow and continue to offer value to the community that is yours personally, but really the global community. And then the cons, I would say after 40, sometimes, you may not be as quick with the technology. So you do need to give yourself time to learn, because YouTube has its own, technical, system. So algorithms, you need to learn about algorithms. You'll need to learn about editing, uploading your videos. You can even schedule them, so there's so much to learn with YouTube. Creating a banner, so there's so many things, and you can continue to advance as you go. So sometimes with the things that we need to learn, it can take more time to retain that. So I would say give yourself a learning curve, time to build up as you go, and not plan to learn and know everything at once, because it does not work like that. There's plenty of tutorials and that, so that you can continue to, find what works for you, add it, and, but it does take a lot of patience. And in the beginning, it is time consuming. So I would say the second con is definitely you may, in the beginning, grow at a slower pace because you're learning the process with YouTube and what works well for you. So I wouldn't worry about your audience in the beginning. It can take time to get that. You are getting your flow. You're learning how to put, your value out there, what your knowledge, but also you are learning best ways, best practices with creating videos and editing and all that I just mentioned. All right, so those two kind of go hand in hand. And then number 3, I would say balancing your time and energy. Okay, so you have to find the best times that work best for you. Some are working full time. I do some contract work, so I do have to work around that schedule. What works for me is usually earlier in the day is usually better, but I can't always do earlier. So sometimes it's late afternoon, after I finish a day of work. So it just depends on what works well for you. It could be the weekends, just doing a bulk of videos on the weekend. All right, but you got to find what works for you. But as long as you're willing to be flexible and find that time, it will work out. All right. Number 4, I would say, just patience in the process. Sometimes we don't have that. We get frustrated. We think we should know. We should learn quickly. But no, in this instance, I would say anything new, be patient with yourself. And sometimes we don't have that patience. We want, like myself, I've had to let go because sometimes I want to know it like yesterday, know it and apply it. And that's what I've always been able to do. But this does take a little bit more time. And so you want to allow yourself 2 hours in the beginning to create a video, and then you'll be able to scale it back from there. You'll learn faster techniques. You'll learn what you can take out. You may not need all the equipment. You'll find, where there's cameras that are better for you. I mean, I use my phone camera a lot. It works very well, especially the newer models of, the iPhone or what have you. It's, pretty advanced. So it works very well, and the microphone usually works really well on just the phone. But, there's plenty of microphones you can purchase. They have really inexpensive ones that work well, just as well as the really expensive ones sometimes. So just depends. But overall, I mean, of the pros and cons, I would say the pros weigh out better. On my last video, I even talked about the benefits of having your own YouTube channel. If you're in between jobs, it continues to help you with building your professionalism. You're staying in front of people, you're networking, and you're able to, there's so many things. So you're welcome to go back and look at that video just to review some of the things I shared there that make a YouTube channel beneficial to have. But yeah, definitely the cons, I think as long as you stay open and willing to learn, you can always overcome those um, you know, those challenges in the beginning, and then find your way, you know, and it'll be a smooth road eventually. You just have to be patient in the beginning. All right, well, I appreciate your time and tuning in today. Like and subscribe so you'll get more notifications about when I'm available and giving a message. All right, but definitely, you know, stay in touch. Take care.